You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
I will let Joey lead.
You want me to lead?
Go for it, sir. You may start the ball rolling.
Well, I guess the first movie we should talk about is Dead Snow.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right. This is a Tommy Wirkola film.
That's the cough drop guy, right?
Yeah. No, actually, he is a pretty new director. I think he's only directed one other thing other than this, and it was nothing to this caliber, where this had actually like a real budget, real script, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know this man was heavily influenced by other horror films that we all grew up with.
Oh, well, he mentioned some of them in the film too. Yeah,
he didn't mention some. He mentioned a lot.
He did. The film. Yeah, I'm saying some of his inspiration that you can obviously see in the film through some of his editing. He does mention. He mentions Evil Dead, and there's an obvious.
He mentions Evil Dead.
There's
actually a scene in the movie where they mention Evil Dead 2, and how it's not only referred to by a lot of people as not a sequel, but actually a remake.
It is a sequel.
Well, yes, we do know that.
Yeah.
But he was just...
I know.
He was just mentioning in the film, and he says, Evil Dead 2 is actually referred to by a lot of people as a remake.
He was just spreading false information, like euthanasia in the new healthcare plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a birther?
I do not have a birth certificate. No, I do not exist.
Okay. But yeah, like some of the films he mentions in the movie, whether it be by them talking about it, by them actually recreating scenes, or even a T-shirt like Brain Dead. It's not even Dead Alive.
I caught that like a mile away.
Not even Dead Alive, but Brain Dead.
Because Dead Alive is the American title, because there was already a film, Brain Dead, out on DVD, on video at the time. It wasn't that bad.
Well, we won't get into that.
Yeah, but this is your typical horror fan makes his own horror film.
Right.
Whereas it has a lot of references to other horror films. It's serious but tongue in cheek. So there's a lot of dark humor. It's not a film that takes itself seriously, but it's not a film that resorts to camp and wackiness the entire way through. There are serious moments.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I mean, and in just some of the films that it does refer to are movies like Brain Dead, because it's on the T-shirt.
Right.
Evil Dead trilogy. Mm-hmm. All three movies are referred to. Temple of Doom. Just Fortune and Glory.
Which, by the way, I have that in my notes here. Where is it? I love foreign films in which the characters occasionally speak random phrases in English. I've been a fan of that ever since the old days when you could only watch Hong Kong action films through video bootlegs,
right? And
you would see Chow Yun-fat suddenly break into English, saying "Don't hurt me, baby" or something like that. And they would do that every now and then.
Right.
It was always.
No, I agree. I love it when that happens too.
It's such a weird. So yeah, in this film
and to see them,
because this film is Swedish or Scandinavian. Norwegian. I keep saying Scandinavian or Swedish.
And the thing about it is, they're talking, Norse,
some weird or foreign language. Yes,
they're speaking Norwegian, and then out of nowhere he says "Fortune and Glory,"
and
it's in absolute perfect.
And then when he does the Schwarzenegger's "I'll be back,"
right? Or the other ode is Die Hard with Yippee Ki Yay.
I missed that part.
Oh, really? That's when they're actually battling zombies.
Oh
at one
yeah,
point.
it must have had come real quick.
It was very quick.
Yeah.
And then Doom, April Fool's Day, Friday the 13th. It's all there.
April Fool's Day has become the film to mention if you want to show your true horror film chops.
It wasn't oded to in so much that it was actually just talked about.
No, it was
by
mentioned,
them.
but that's what I'm saying. But I've noticed that April Fool's Day is the horror film you mentioned when you want to show that, hey, I don't just watch the mainstream stuff. I see the sleeper hits. I know the score behind the scenes.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day, how about that, yo? Let's throw that out there.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to throw down? Oh, how about April Fool's Day?
Not the remake though.
No.
No.
They made a remake?
Yeah.
Really?
And it was very successful.
Did I miss that?
Apparently.
That must have been during my Mexican wrestling tour.
Listen, I don't know how you missed it, but I did.
8,000 other films out there every month.
Well, no, I'm only saying I don't know how you missed it because I actually made a post about it on This Movie Sucks.
Oh.
Just about why does this movie keep making money every weekend? It was in the top 5. It was #1 movie at one point. Then
April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
I missed that.
And guess when it came out? April.
Easter. Oh, April. Damn it. So
Easter could have been in April that year.
So
I don't remember.
Anybody who hasn't heard about Dead Snow, this is obviously a film. It's not obvious. It's a Nazi zombie film.
Exactly.
This is in the
and it had
spirit.
A very limited run here in the States. New York, L.A.
Well, it's got subtitles.
It does have
Say
subtitles.
no more.
But yeah, New York and L.A. was just about it, and that's the only way
Right.
we got to see it.
Now Nazi zombie films it's like lesbian vampire films. Vampire films is a large genre, then a specific genre is the lesbian vampire films. So zombie films, there's tons of zombie films out there, but there has been a steady stream of Nazi zombie films throughout the day. Shockwaves, Oasis of the Zombies, it goes on. This is the latest Nazi zombie film. When I saw this trailer,
right.
It was, I think my first note in my little movie journal here is Nazi zombies.
My first
and then my second note is Norwegian Nazi zombies.
I'll tell you what, my first note for this movie was just how much I enjoyed the opening scene with the music they chose for it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it's the music. And again, I apologize for not knowing the composer.
You suck.
I'm sorry. You know what? And I tried to look it up today because it's on the tip of my tongue.
There's a nice little World War II classical music going in there, that kind of Flight of the Valkyries type thing.
Exactly.
And it's just and
it's on the tip of my tongue. It's been there all day, and I tried looking for it, and I can't find what the name of it was.
I personally enjoyed through the rest of the film being exposed to Norwegian pop songs.
Yeah,
because we don't get a taste for it in America.
And I hear the one actress in the film, she does one of the songs and has a music video.
Which one? The one that gets the outhouse?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that right
here. Because I believe the video is very, very sexually suggestive.
What's worse than being gut stabbed? Being gut stabbed in an outhouse.
In 0 below weather. Below 0 weather.
I think
one of my other notes is, you know what? Okay.
I think feces. I think feces in an open wound trumps how cold it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Which reminded me of.
You know what it is too.
You know what that reminded me of? What movie? Sleepaway Camp 3. That's actually not a bad one either. And shut up.
Did you ever buy the box set, the one that looked like?
It's on my wish list on DVD Swap.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that looks like.
Anybody out there right now laughing at me because I said Sleepaway Camp 3? Shut up. That was cool, and there was that one scene where because she stabs the girl in Sleepaway Camp 3 in the back like 2 or 3 times, right. But it doesn't kill her. She's like, it's not it's a 2-inch blade, hits her in the back. She doesn't drop dead. She's like, ow, ow. So she kicks her into the outhouse and shoves her down with a stick. And so she's stabbed multiple times, covered in manure. She has leeches on her face, trying to climb out. She's hitting her with a stick. I was like, this is brutal. This isn't usually like machete to the head, move on. This is,
God, I haven't seen that movie in years.
I saw that before I saw the first 2, and that's my favorite one.
Oh, really?
Because it's just so. There's like a scene where she's gonna kill this girl. And the girl's just like talking, she's like complaining about something, right. And the killer's walking around, just picking up random things and like trying to see if they'll kill her. Like coat hangers, no, too soft. Hairbrush, that's not gonna do it. It's just. But the actress is great. She does I forget her name.
From Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Or from Dead Snow.
No, Sleepaway Camp 3.
I don't remember her name
talking about, but that scene reminded me of Sleepaway Camp 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my
But
notes,
there's a lot of stuff in this film that reminds you.
one of my notes for that specific scene is the girl is beautiful. The guy, he's your movie geek guy.
Yeah.
He knows everything about movies. He's almost like the blonde alter ego of me in some ways.
And he gets some.
You get-
Yes.
Well, okay, we
Now,
won't go there.
but
no, it's below zero weather. It is frigidly cold,
Yes.
and he's getting some outside. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, the girl is beautiful. The geek is getting some, but it is so cold
You get the heat from the outhouse rising up.
because he was
That one,
barely finished in there when she decided to come in and
he didn't
do that.
That was nasty. That was nasty.
Yeah, I mean he was still.
But you know what? That makes it even sexier. Actually, I
would say
because
that.
you mentioned that too. The whole idea that you got the movie geek in that film.
Right.
And I wrote down here too is that I hate it when a character that would have been me in a film dies horribly.
Yeah.
My character should always survive.
Yeah, he got the worst of it, I think.
I see. Well, no, but
No.
no, I don't.
You obviously don't remember how he died.
I do remember, sir.
And we won't ruin it for everyone because it's going to be a while before this comes out.
Dude, I do remember, sir. Thank you very much. But I mean, it's just I'm watching a film. It's like, oh, here's a chubby guy who loves horror films and he's fun loving. It's like, this could be me. And then like 2 scenes later, oh, he just got he just got 17 knives in the face. That's not fair.
That's not how he dies in the movie.
I know, because I don't want to ruin the film.
No, exactly.
What I'm saying is, I don't like it when a character that could have been me dies.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect? They're battling Nazi zombies.
I know, but still,
coming back for their gold,
which saddens me.
Is in the house.
That's right, because no story involving Nazi gold ever ends well.
No.
Nazi gold is not even Super Operation Condor 2 or Armor of God 2 Operation Condor.
Oh God,
that does not end well either, and that was Nazi gold involved in that.
It never did.
Yeah, if you're ever involved in any kind of plot that involves Nazi gold, just sign off immediately because there are no happy endings.
Never.
It's the curse of because Nazis. That's the cool thing about Nazi zombie films is that it's the implication, like with this group when they tell the backstory of these Nazis, the implication is these Nazis are so bad they can't even kill them. It's like you take like the most disrespected evil army in the world and say they're bad, but this bunch of Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
They rebelled against the Nazis.
Because the guy even says it. Well, other Nazis, when they would take over towns, they would, they would work with the people. Not these Nazis. These were bad Nazis. This is the para. There's dinosaurs, but that's an angry dinosaur. It's like just taking like a bad thing and making it worse.
Exactly. No, you're right.
Oh, I've had food poisoning, but this food poisoning, that was horrible.
This is the worst food poisoning I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much else to discuss about the film without giving away too much of the fun with it.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin it.
But a lot of dark humor, and I love the ending. I saw the ending coming.
Yeah, and everyone will.
Yeah,
I mean, well, you know what? It's an ode.
But you know what?
In a lot of ways, to a lot of other horror movies.
There's two kinds of. I saw the end coming. There's the kind where you go, like I saw that come an hour ago, and there's the other kind where you're like, I'm so glad they ended it that way because that's the way I saw it, and it had to end that way.
Right. Exactly.
Any other way wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
So it's like the happy I saw that coming. It's like, oh, thank God.
No, you're right.
I don't think I ever have any other notes on. Oh, never smother a girl on the first date. That's a credo.
Oh yeah.
That's a credo I've always lived by.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You really can't do modern zombie films. And this comes up in this film and a couple others. Without acknowledging public awareness of zombies. Shaun of the Dead had that whole scene where like, zombies. Don't say that word. Why? It's weird. It's like in a vampire film. It's just assumed everyone knows what vampires are.
Right.
But with zombies, it's kind of like that disconnect where it's well, do we mention the fact that people have seen zombie films?
Right.
Shaun of the Dead did it. Dead Snow does it to a decent extent. You have to acknowledge its existence in popular culture.
Yeah.
More so than you do vampires and werewolves, because zombies aren't really ingrained with that kind of mythology. They're
right.
Even though there is a mythological base to the whole idea of zombies,
right.
Voodoo and that kind of thing. You really have to admit, everyone's seen Roger Corman films. Not Roger. Damn it.
You keep doing that.
George Romero films.
Yeah.
It was because I hate George Romero.
No. Yeah.
I'm not even. That's another.
No,
discussion.
that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
We could do George Romero. Well, I'll tell
That's
you
right.
what.
Even grizzled old men are no match for Nazi zombies.
Yeah, that guy came to warn them.
I love that. Like the guy that comes out of nowhere is like, you know what it
You
is?
snot-nosed little
Yeah,
bastards. You
well,
come up here and decide not to,
it's the
read
Friday-
about the lore of the land.
It's the Friday the 13th syndrome. Is that you're all doomed. And that guy's always the first to go. You know, it's like the guy that warns you is always the first one that bites it. Friday
Right.
the 13th, ever since then, it's tradition. The whistleblower gets it in the back first.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
No, you're
that's
right.
it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And this is the first zombie film where I've seen someone bite a zombie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I noticed that. It's like, I never thought of that as a defense against zombies.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if the character really fully realized he was dealing with zombies at that moment.
Probably not.
Yeah, but still, it's the first and a face bite too. No, because that was the first.
Wait.
That was the first.
When was the bite?
That was when they tackled him out of the cave. That was like the first.
Okay, he was. Yeah. Okay, you're right. He was separate from the cabin.
Right.
That character was separate from the cabin because they actually talk about zombies and don't get bit.
Also, interesting for
where
American.
the one movie geek character says that, even though is that going to be a thing in here? Is it not going to be a thing?
Do you have any other notes on the?
I do. I actually have the only thing I didn't like. It's not a major thing.
You mentioned this and you caught me off guard because I didn't. There was nothing about the film I didn't like.
It's so minor. I probably shouldn't even mention it. And the scene was done comedically.
All right, get to it.
All right. And not to give anything away because I'm really not.
Oh, but here, by the way, quick spoiler alert for anybody who gets psycho about spoiler alerts. This is the film. We're not going to try. We'll always try not to give away the ending to a film and not to reveal too much.
Always.
But this is a podcast about movies. We're going to talk about films. If you hear us mention a film, do what I do. If I want to see a film, I hear someone talking about it, I turn the show off. Now, I know what I'm doing is telling someone to turn this off and not listen to us. I understand
what are you doing, man?
But fast forward then. Fast forward to a part we're not talking about it.
Right.
Why even risk it? I don't read reviews on films until after I've seen them. We're talking about them,
And
half the films we talk about are going to be older films. Just don't be surprised if we mention something in the film you didn't want to know about. If we start talking about a film you haven't seen and you really want to see it, just fast forward a bit. Show some common sense. Jesus, it's like on the DVD. You ever hear the DVD commentaries when they get?
Sounded like you insulted them right there.
I probably did. It'll happen. You ever hear the DVD audio commentaries where they say, "Well, I don't want to mention this yet because it hasn't happened in the film, and somebody might be watching this and have not seen the end of the film yet." If you rent a DVD you haven't
you're watching
seen,
the comment or listening to the commentary,
and you listen to the audio commentary first, you deserve to have everything ruined for you before the end.
You're right. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
You should just have the DVD slapped out of your hand at the video store. They should ask that. The counter guy should ask if you rent it at a brick and mortar store and they say, "Well, what are you going to do with this film first? You going to watch the film?" You say, "No, I think I'll listen to audio commentary first." They should slap you and take the DVD away.
Or they should smack you with the DVD and then throw it across the room.
Throw the DVD across the room?
Yeah, smack you with the DVD and then throw it across the room.
I will promote physical violence upon strangers I don't know, but don't go throwing DVDs around. That's not nice.
You think smacking it out of their hands and it landing and possibly cracking the disc is any better?
Are we going to quibble over how we assault the guy? You should be physically assaulted if you do that first. Anyway.
You're right. Anyway, the only quibble, the only tiny little thing I had, and it's almost not even worth mentioning,
but it's
is the fact that they went out of their way in the beginning of the film when they're making their way up to the cabin that they had no cell phone service. Yet, there's a scene in the movie where not only do they have a cell phone.
Oh, no.
But they actually connect with someone.
You're wrong. The guy even tells in the beginning. They say, "We have no cell phone service up here," and he says, "No, but you can get
like our version of 911.
You can get the emergency line
which actually I did my homework is 113 in Norway."
But you couldn't tell me the name of the guy.
All right.
But you have no idea what a perfect getaway is about.
I have no.
You know right now. We dialed 113.
If I was in Norway, I'd get their emergency.
If we dialed 113 right now, Norwegian would ask us, "What's the emergency?"
Yes.
But in Norwegian.
Well, you know what? Then if that's the case, I missed that. But then why didn't they try that earlier?
I don't know, because they were panicking. I don't know. Well, don't read too deeply into a horror film, sir.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Now, you know what I did like in the opening, as far as that kind of setup thing? For Americans, it's not as common knowledge, or it's not something that you would just assume. So I like in that little conversation in the car where they kind of allude to the fact
Right.
that in other countries, military service is mandatory.
Oh yeah.
So these three
that
guys,
whole scene where he's talking about how the guy.
the three guys
got
are in the
caught
car
in
and
an
they're
avalanche.
talking about, well, how would you survive this? Oh, my military. You don't remember your military training? No. And it's really kind of implied that there are some countries
They
where
all have
at a
some
certain
sort of
age,
military training. You're
yeah.
right. You're absolutely right.
So
For a day of training, and it was, what you're saying is right. In foreign countries, you actually had like an hour of military training, or a period of military training, like we would have like math or science.
Right, and it's just interesting to watch a foreign film made where they actually acknowledge that kind of situation and fold it gently into the script.
Right.
I like that. I think my final note on this film was it's good to know that they're still making good zombie films.
Oh yeah.
It's
because
always
you could absolutely make a horrific zombie movie.
yeah. So is that it for you on Dead Snow?
I think that's it for Dead Snow.